Nothing beats a great cake, a sort of a show-off trophy for party food. So I'm gonna make the most amazing flourless chocolate cake, but with a twist. First thing first, make the caramel. Flatten the sugar, never stir a caramel, rule number one. Now keep the pan nice and flat. I'm gonna flavor this caramel with a little bit of mint. Give it a little chop. Sprinkle that into the caramel. Don't get the caramel too dark, just nice and light. A little teaspoon of oil onto the tray and rub that in. And then pour out your caramel. If I was making a caramel sauce, then I'd put butter and cream into the caramel, but I want this nice minted brittle running through my cake.
Whilst the caramel cools down on a tray, I'm going to make my cake. First, melt good quality dark chocolate in a bain-marie.
Heating it directly in the pan would destroy the cocoa fats. Always in a bowl over boiling water.
In a mixing bowl, sugar, 2 whole eggs and 3 egg yolks. Whisk until beautifully light and creamy and the colour changes to a light yellow.
The more you mix the eggs and the sugar, the lighter that texture in the centre of the chocolate cake.
Next, melt some butter into your warm dark chocolate and stir.
Puts that really nice sheen, velvety, rich and tasting amazing. Add that to your sugar and your eggs. Now give that a really good mix. And when you're making flourless desserts, it really is important to work hard at incorporating air, especially with the yolks and the sugar. That natural height needs to take place at the beginning. Look at that. Looks like the perfect chocolate ganache.
Then separate 4 egg whites into a bowl.
Now, make sure you've got 2/3 of the way there with your whites, and then just sprinkle in your sugar. It's almost like a meringue. And the firmer you make these now, the more it will elevate your cake in the oven. That's what you call a stiff peak. In with the whites. Before I start mixing that, I'm gonna get my caramel. Just start breaking that up. It's like little glass, sheets of glass, beautiful.
Save some of your minty caramel shards for decoration and use a rolling pin to break up the rest into small pieces.
Sprinkle that in. So as we start to slice that chocolate cake, you'll come across that nice crunch. Take your cake tin. Make sure it's lined with the greaseproof paper on the bottom, nicely greased. Pour this in.
A few sharp taps on a hard surface will rid your cake mixture of any air pockets that could create holes in your cake.
Sit that in the oven, 180.
After 35 minutes, my chocolate mint cake is cooked, and whilst it cools down, I can whip up a peppermint cream topping. Add sifted icing sugar and a few drops of peppermint extract to double cream, and whisk until it's just holding its shape. Spoon your minty cream on top of the cake, leaving a small border free to make it easier to cut. For a cake that can't fail to attract attention at your party, scatter over the remaining caramel mint shards.